Welcome to the Tearing It Up podcast. I'm your host, Taryn. We'll be tearing it up, tearing it down, and tearing it apart, dissecting all things related to those who deviate from the standard. From leaders of their industry to leaders of mediocrity, and maybe a gear review or two thrown in. We shoot the shit and let the conversations flow, so if that's not your style, this may not be for you. Otherwise, listen in. Hope to light a fire in you somehow. All right. We are back in action. It's been a couple weeks. As we always say, time just flies. So whether you take that as an excuse or whatever, we don't really fucking care. Just ebbing and flowing and trying to work out two completely opposite schedules that are also never like set. So
yeah.
Yes,
we're doing it. We made it.
We made it.
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Wednesday. It's snowing here in Tahoe still. It snowed. Today's just been kind of like flurries. It's not like really accumulating too much, but yesterday it snowed a decent amount. So I just feel in a time warp because I'm like forget that it's the end of May and like pretty much April.
March. End of
Yes,
March.
End of March. Yeah.
You're burrito drunk.
I am. I think I'm about to crash soon because I've just kind of had a lot of energy. Oh, I did have a late afternoon coffee, late.
Oh, girl, you little freak.
Oh yeah, not good when I work next door to a coffee shop because our second store, which is downtown Truckee, is right next to a coffee shop. And after lunch, I'm like, oh, I need a little pick me up. But then I don't down it, so I'm drinking it for a long time. Oh shit. Just finishing this. Yep, exactly what happened today.
Whoopsie.
So I think that's the problem. But I'll take some of my delicious magnesium from N.O.R, and that's been helping me sleep for sure. So
really awesome.
Yes.
Do you have more to say about N.O.R?
So I've tried their mellow magnesium, which that's what I started with, and I just got a re-up of it. But I took it for a month and I didn't say much about it because I wasn't sure if is this helping? Is this not? But then when I ran out for about I think I was out for 2 weeks actually, I noticed a big difference. My sleep was not as good. And then I got it back and it's been better. I mean, my sleep is still just interrupted because these dogs wake up every night. And that can throw things off depending on when they wake up. But I mean, I feel so much better with it. I got that, and then this shut-eye chai, it's called, and it's like a chai tea mix, and you can mix it with water or your favorite milk, and it is so delicious, especially for me at this time of year because it's still pretty fucking cold. That just a nice hot drink before bed. It's just so soothing and delicious. So I've just been switching it up between the two. I just try to get at least have one of those at night for sure, but yeah, it just depends on my mood if I want a nice hot drink or just I need to quickly down the magnesium because you only need 4 ounces of water or whatever to do that.
Nice. I like those kind of good for me beverages that's just quick.
Yep, totally. I like to be able to just down it. So tonight I'll probably just do the magnesium because I just want to take a little shot of it and be done, and I won't feel heating up some milk and chugging on a chai, but it is so delicious. Bless you. But
you've been kind of sick over here.
Oh no.
Nothing, not COVID. I took a test.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was people still do this anymore? But I've got all these free tests still, so I was might as well.
Yeah.
That shit came back negative. And yeah. We're just kind of coming out of a light little, maybe it's a change in season allergy colds thing. I don't know.
Could be. Just before we got on here, my dad called and I asked him how the weather was there, and he said it was in the 60s today.
Yes, it sure freaking was.
I was like, that's smoking hot, man. It's 29 when I drove home today, and like I said, snowing, and yesterday and it was super windy up here, so again just variable inches of snow. Some were a few inches, and then all of a sudden it felt like it would be a foot of snow.
Damn. Yeah, that picture that you posted of you getting stuck, that looks like a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Like the banks were high.
Yeah, so that's on our
That's
road.
crazy.
Yeah, so they're definitely like all the snow walls are still really high. So that was the first time all season that either of us have gotten stuck on the road, but yesterday turned out to be a little bit of a shit show. I think we made it this far in the season without getting stuck or anything, and then there's just a layer of ice under since we've been through this like melt freeze cycle. And
Yeah.
as the road's been melting out, then it's still wet and freezes and just like starts with wet snow or whatever it is. It caused this layer, couldn't get any traction, started slipping. I tried it like 3 times, like reversed down and then like gave another run at it. And then the last time I was like kind of like backing up, but I got sucked into a rut. And so like
Hmm.
just got sucked into the side and was in a bank and kind of stuck. But our road is like a one-way road anyway, so I'm like, well, no one can pass me, like I can't really do anything. And so Andrew was on his way up and I started walking home to try to grab some toe straps and like start the snowmobile just to bring it down there just in case like we needed like multiple things or ended up like would have having to leave the truck or something, that we wouldn't have to just keep walking uphill because it's a take some time to walk from there. So
Especially in snowingness.
yeah, yes, yeah. Like I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the time, but yeah, the first time it was a little bit faster because I was like trying to hurry, but it was all like fresher snow and oh my god, I was just like heavy ass breathing. But yeah, then the snowmobile wouldn't start and I couldn't even open the doors of the container all the way to get it out. If it did start, then Andrew got in a little fender bender on the road and then he got stuck and had to have the neighbors pull him out.
Dude.
Then no
Yeah,
one
because we
could.
tried to record yesterday and then all that stuff happened and then you were like, okay, I'm ready. And I was
Yeah.
cruising around with Quincy. We ran out of cat food and had to go down the road to get bike to go get some cat food.
Yeah, it was like 5 o'clock by the time that like all this was kind of happening. And I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. Because I didn't know exactly what happened with Andrew's situation or anything like that. Or how long it would take to get my truck out and then like in a spot that I could leave it and back up the road. And then we're just having to shovel stuff around here. And it all ended up kind of working out fine. That I was like, okay, well, Andrew's now in the tractor and he's gonna go snow blow the road. So like I'm not cooking dinner right now, not until he's done with stuff. And so I thought we'd be able to hop on real quick and then yeah, you were out doing things, which it worked out. It was still fine.
Yeah.
Then the tractor busted after he did like one pass or something.
Like the attachment or something?
No, well, a belt that
Oh,
um feed something to the coolant. I don't know.
yes.
He
Yeah.
leaked all the coolant out, and because I think because it overheated because this belt was
Turning the
broken. And
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it just became a day of like, can we just stop touching
Shit.
things? Like, let's
Yeah,
just
like
go to bed.
it
Yeah.
sounds like one of those days where it's just like every road you go down, it's like, nope, dead
Yeah.
end. Not,
And I
can't
mean,
go down this road.
the day was totally fine before that too. It's not like it like woke up starting that way. It's just like since my truck got stuck, it kind of started going that route, even to the point of when we finally got both trucks like home. He parked the tractor at the end of the road and we were able to get both trucks up the road after like some clearing because our neighbor was out there too helping because he also couldn't come up the road. um and so come home to heat up some food and then like the stove wasn't lighting and I'm like, okay, well the fucking
Oh,
oven's on, but like now the stove and I was just, I was like, oh my God, I just like got so worried for a second. Like I'm kind of afraid to go to sleep now because what if the fucking generator dies or something
yeah,
overnight?
right.
And but it definitely started to feel like what's that like book or something like the never ending
Horrible, really bad day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. But we had good spirits throughout it all because again, it's just hard to in those situations. I mean, it could be so much worse. Like we're at our house, we're on our road. No one was making it up that road anyways, even if I was stuck there for a while, a pretty good chance no one was going to be able to get past how like get further than how I than where I got anyways. But yeah, I had to keep myself a little bit calm and not flustered of
Yes.
thinking those thoughts
Good
of
job,
okay, it's
dude.
on our property. We're right here. Nothing's broken. But when
Yeah,
at first I got pretty worried hearing about Andrew, like, oh my God, no, what happened to your
I
truck?
was
And
too. Yeah.
but uh but yeah, all good, all good. And today was a little bit better. Hopefully got all the parts and pieces we need for the tractor. And so the snow wasn't really accumulating today, and it's supposed to be sunny and stuff, I think, tomorrow and Friday. So just can get a few things done. Well,
Nice.
Andrew can. I'm gonna be gone all day tomorrow. So
Oh,
but yeah. Yeah, I have a women's summit tomorrow. So I've talked about this
fun.
company Wandering Wild
Mhm.
before, and I haven't gone to this summit. This is only the second one, I think. Um, I'm actually gonna pull up my email. So it's an all day like thing. And so there'll be keynote speakers and there's a couple of different workshops. So I thought that at first you were all these like workshops were going to happen like in one big open room or something, but it turns out you kind of have to choose between a couple of them. So let's see, because it's not just for business women or anything. Let's see, a few of the um topics will be dealing with burnout.
Oh
um
shit. Hell
how's
yeah. Getting
yeah
real.
how's
Let's up for that, man.
yeah
Let's
how
normalize 4-day work weeks.
no fucking kidding. Like I love talking about, oops. Oh, I can't minimize when I'm recording, which I just like to minimize because it keeps the little squares on the side while I read other things. So dealing with burnout, how our stories create spaces of belonging, a panel discussion that will be talking about what does inclusivity feel like, um, stand-up spoken word pieces. So I don't know if that's just from people volunteering or if they already have people who have who are specifically going to give these speeches or whatnot. And the afternoon workshops are rewiring for wealth and unlocking your
Oh
inner
shit.
creativity. And I
Oh
could
shit.
not choose between those two. So that's where I was like,
Rewiring for wealth.
I know. And I think I did the fucking other one because I started to get into a like
Sneak into it.
a business mindset that I might get a little more for my job and
Mhm.
business from unlocking your inner creative. And I wasn't exactly sure what rewiring for wealth
Yeah.
would mean, if that was like mindset, which I could 100% use.
Yeah.
But I follow a couple of money people and, always talking about kind of manifestation and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know if like that's what it's going to be. And I just wasn't sure what kind of tools it might give me. I thought that I might get a little more from the other workshop. But so yeah, I was bummed. Like, damn it, I didn't think I would have to choose. I kind of thought
Yeah.
that they were all gonna happen
Good
at the same
option.
time. I didn't know the itinerary looked quite like this, but it will still be really great. And like I said, there is some keynote speakers as well. So, and actually, one of the keynote speakers, I believe, is a woman who owns like a finance company. So I'm sure she's probably doing the rewiring for wealth um, workshop. So, and I've done a event or went attended an event that she spoke at, a smaller event for Wandering Wild, that this woman from KMI Wealth was at, and talked a lot about finances and like investing and things like that. So she had a lot of information that I do want to learn more about. But again, I just wasn't exactly sure from the title what rewiring for wealth would mean.
Yeah, I'm like Googling it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I so wish. So when I went to this summit back in October for my marketing job,
Hmm.
it was really, so you had the same thing all day long. There's a bunch of different workshops and you have to choose which ones you're going to go to, but they were all really pretty short. You could actually like pop out of one and pop into another. You didn't need to sign up for anything. um but who knows what you would have missed, but they were all recorded, and I have not actually gone back and looked at some of the recordings, but I should. But like, I hope they do. That would be really cool if they could do that and then post them so I could then rewatch those. And it's only, it's 4 sessions. I think it'd be super easy to be able to set up someone's phone even and record and then repost that to YouTube or something. And
Oh, that would be awesome.
that would be very nice to just not
I
feel like
love
you
that
missed
your
out on
work
anything.
supports this and like you're affiliated with things like that because it's always good to um, get together with like-minded people and talk about like-minded things and have stuff like all day workshops and
Absolutely. This one is not supported through my job. This is something I'm doing on my own.
oh, good job, sister.
Yeah, so all their events that I usually go to are usually just little local ones, sometimes in Reno. But yeah, this one, since it's not necessarily business or creative like marketing focus, yeah, I'm just totally doing it on my own to check it out because I wanted to go last year, but I believe I was actually in Washington when they did it, so I missed it. But I just felt like it was a good thing to check out, and I always pick up a little something from these events, whether it's even just feeling like a little bit inspired and lighting some fire that I feel like I've been carrying on for a bit, but just get to that slump of like, okay, so it's a great timing for me to have this and not let the flame go out too much. And I just cannot wait for the burnout thing because
Yeah.
that's just a constant battle, I feel like, facing burnout. And I think they got me as well in just the beginning with their when they first announced it, talking about this year is a year of evolution, personally, professionally, creatively, financially, and most important, communally. And I was just like, yes, yes,
More. I'm here for that.
absolutely. And I know a lot of ladies who attend these events who are going, so I'm just like, it's just a good networking opportunity, social opportunity, and you get some good nuggets in there. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
And then
Tight, dude.
so as I've talked about my friend M, who was affiliated with Wandering Wild and has been the Truckee chapter leader. I think she'll be there. I think she spoke last year. So this year I believe just like attending as a regular person. But yeah, just super excited to see some ladies I know and we all get to just learn and be inspired and network.
And talk and connect and there's
Yep,
real stuff behind all the energy of the people gathering.
exactly. You need that. I mean, so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I did some Zoom stuff during COVID, and that at that time was nice to have something, but man, the in-person stuff is just so much better. The
Mhm.
connection is so much better. Um, but yeah, I keep trying to press this button and it's not working. So, anyways, I'm excited about that. I've been looking forward to it, so I can't wait that it's finally here because I bought my ticket like in January. So I've been waiting
Yeah.
for this. And I just hope I can't wait to share about it too. Little
Yeah,
nuggets and
same.
stuff. And
We should try to record sooner after that than later so things are like still fresh.
yeah,
And even if
exactly.
they're not, we could like re-spark the flame and make
Yeah,
it again.
absolutely. That's what's nice about recapping with you on things
Yeah.
is as I kind of sometimes if it has been a while recapping makes it fresher in my mind again, but I plan on writing a lot of things down, so hopefully I can take some action steps to whatever inspiration comes up from this.
Yeah, fuck it up.
Yeah, totally. And damn it. Oh, speaking of so recapping and whatnot, that's what I was gonna kind of start this whole episode was
Yeah.
that it's a little recap because it's been a couple weeks. Obviously, same fucking story over here. It's snowing. I have not though been out really and enjoying it. Like I haven't been snowmobiling or cross country skiing much. I did go snowboarding twice.
Yeah, girl.
Just a little bit. That was fun for my friend's birthday. I had a free ticket at Sugar Bowl here, which is a really awesome mountain. Kind of gives me more Baker vibes just
I
because it's
love it.
like not as crowded as
Yeah.
other places.
And
And
ticket prices aren't up the yang.
yep, exactly. And then I actually worked an event on Saturday at another smaller, like kind of quaint mountain
Oh,
that I just got to take a couple laps at because I was working and that was just fun because it's like you go down the run and you're just staring into Lake Tahoe. I
ah,
haven't been to that resort. I was like, this is fucking It's like the best. This is the best. There's just all you see is the lakes. Like there's on other mountains runs of the lake and whatnot, but this literally felt like you were skiing into it. It's like, this is amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
what
So
a crazy feeling.
yeah, yes. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta come in the winter and
Yeah,
we gotta check some of these out. Because this also doesn't have crazy ticket prices or anything. And
sweet.
yeah. And again, just not the super crowdy vibes.
Yeah.
So that's I've just been working. My schedule's been kind of all over the place as usual. So I think this weekend I was going to do another event, and now we're not actually going to be in attendance there. We don't really need anyone. And I'm like happy. I'm like, okay, good. Because I really do need 2 days off in a row. Especially these days because I just feel so scattered when I don't have
Yeah.
it. Like Monday, I was completely fucking just scatterbrained and just all over the place because I was off Sunday, and then all of a sudden Monday, I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to fucking do, and like around the house and in the like my personal things I want to do, whether it's like the podcast or my personal training business or whatever, and then like also working, that I was just fucking just nutty. And
Frazzled. Yeah.
yeah, so frazzled. And I'm like, okay, it's another long fucking week, but like, yeah, I need a day to like decompress, have some fun,
For
and feel
sure.
like I have another day that could be chore day. So yeah, I feel like it sounds like um privileged, or I don't know, first world problems for sure, that I need 2 days off in a row. But
I mean, it is real.
it,
Doesn't invalidate what you're feeling or how you're feeling or what you need in your life for your basic needs to exist on this planet normally as a person. I don't know.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a time in my life where I could definitely just power through, 2 weeks straight of working long ass days, or working just like 4 days in a row of 12-hour days, doing whatever, whether it's two different jobs or three different jobs or
Yeah.
anything. But now I'm just like, man, I mentally can't because my brain just feels fried all the time. I mean, I bought 3 things of mayonnaise on accident because I just forgot that I had it all. I
The
just feel like I'm
mayonnaise.
losing my damn mind. I mean, that was
Patty
before,
mayonnaise.
yeah, just it's up, it's just mayonnaise coming out of my ass. That sounds terrible. But
Yeah, that's awful. That sounds so bad.
and then today I'm getting ready for work and making coffee and making a smoothie, and I have a little milk frother, like an electric, um
Yeah.
it's an espresso one, so not just the buzzy wand you stick in, you pour it in the contraption, put the lid on, turn it on, and fucking heats it up
Oh,
and froths it. And so
oh
I did
shit.
that, and then I'm pouring it, and I'm fucking pouring it into my smoothie. I'm like, well, shit, like, damn it, that's the coffee
In
milk,
there.
not my.
In there. But also that slightest thing can just ruin your whole fucking shit for a hot minute, like at least a
Yeah,
few hours, you know? You're like, God,
yeah,
Zeus.
just simple things. I'm totally just losing my mind. I mean, even today cooking dinner, throw we had these burritos, so I throw a tortilla on to warm up, and then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about it because I like to put my cheese on and melt it, and then so I pawn it off to Andrew, start another one, sit down while he's making his taco. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about it again. Like, I'm right here, and I just but these are just normal things. This happens to me every day, literally. It's not beyond walking into a room and forgetting what you went in there for. Everyone does that, but I feel like I'm forgetting words more often that I want to
Yeah.
use, and just like, what am I doing, where am I going, because I just have a million and a half things going on in my mind.
Yeah.
It's just a shit show up there in that
Totally.
brain. So yeah, I think that I need 2 days off in a row to get this thing to
Yes.
quiet.
Yeah. Rewire. Rewire.
Yeah. Yep. So
Rewire for the
anyway,
work week.
yes, rewire for the work week. But in these 2 weeks, as I said, just been all over the place, busy and forgetful.
Yeah.
But the last time we chatted on the podcast, we had Nicole, the our death doula,
Mhm.
and actually, I was gonna pull up. We left off, I feel like, kind of a question about whether or not, what do you call it? Authorize, right? When you authorize yourself or
Yeah,
self
authorized.
authorization.
Yes.
We it was up in the air whether legally that stood. I don't know if that's the right term, but like that it can't be overturned. And Nicole ended
Yeah.
up texting us back and saying like, yeah, that is true. Like it holds and stands. Um and that was just good to know. And I wanted to make sure to let people know that. I'm actually going to go back through my text to see exactly what she said. But you had told us on that episode that you guys were going to go visit a
Human composting facility,
there you
a place
go.
that does N.O.R, if you will, as they call it in the biz or the industry. I don't know what you want to call it,
In the
but
base.
natural organic reduction.
Oh,
And so we visited the facility called Return Home. It is in Fife, Auburn, Fife, Auburn, Washington.
in
Auburn,
that general aria.
Kent. No, it's in Kent. God, the valley. It's in the freaking valley, man. It's off of like 167. Anyways, it's here in Washington, and we got to tour the entire facility. We got to tour, which a lot of it, most people can come into, like people who choose to compost their family members there. I feel like that's so insensitive to say, but it is what it is. We die, we break down, um, but organically. So you walk in, and it's this friendly office with like green plants everywhere and a sweet blind dog. Oh my gosh, there was a blind dog named Chuck, and he was just the sweetest little peach, and he welcomes you, and then you go through like a kitchenette area, and then you get into the warehouse part of it, which is where the first part I don't of the yeah first part of the decomposition process happens. um and that is where the bodies get put in essentially like a insulated, I don't want to call it a bin, but like an insulated uh
Container.
container. Thank you. And people get put in there with a mixture of hay, alfalfa, and sawdust, and then they just pump a bunch of air through it because that's what helps all the bacteria work together to decompose bodies, is the oxygen mixed in with all these like really dry, essentially pretty dry. I don't know how dry the alfalfa comes, but all this stuff is really dry. And since we are mostly water, all these things absorb most of the water. And it's just a crazy process. And that generally takes about 30 days. And then there's a back area, which not everyone gets to go into, but we did. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but there's a back facility, and then that's where the next step of the decomposition process happens. And I want to say that that takes like another 30 days. And they have this massive machine that like turns these containers very slowly as kind of like kind of what you do with like your compost for your garden or like your food waste. And it just was all very transparent and honest, and like you could go everywhere in the facility because there are no harsh chemicals, there are no like poisonous things. And then at the end of this entire process you get a whole cubic yard of good rich, to me it didn't seem like soil, it seemed more like bark, but organic matter, I guess we can call it OM in the biz.
I love your acronyms for sure.
But I discovered the word OM in college, like when we would call organic matter OM. But it's same, right? Like
Same,
science,
same.
man,
Mm-hmm.
back in science. And so yeah, we toured the facility and it was really cool. And I am self-authorized to be processed there when I die. And that's because I don't know. I have like a weird familial situation. Like I don't trust my sisters to make good decisions for me because they're currently not doing that in their lives right now. So, um, I have self authorized for myself, and then that way, like I don't know, my people who are left behind when I go aren't like, what do we do?
Like,
And
what
total,
would she have wanted? Like we talked about
yeah,
in the podcast, there's so many situations that suddenly something happens and those conversations never happen because even though you have done this work with Nicole and set this up, that doesn't mean you've necessarily had the full conversation with anybody that you may leave behind.
yeah,
So so that's what she said. Self authorization is the ultimate authorization, was her words, meaning that technically no one could override that. Like with
yeah,
if your partner, for instance, decided like no,
yeah,
she's going to this place, like
yeah,
your your word is what's supposed to still go. Obviously people can do bad things and not follow the rules all they,
yeah,
when they want, but ultimately it's still your choice after you're gone. So you
yeah,
can hopefully live peacefully after that with whatever you believe in
yeah,
afterlife is, if you believe it exists.
yeah. Because I mean,
Um,
when my mom passed away, I was only 17. Like my sisters and I were young. My youngest sister was 14, and like even though she was dying of cancer and like she got to a point to where we had the conversation, we were like, there's no return from here.
mhm.
We still didn't do the funeral stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she wanted to be buried, but like, I don't know, it's just you're already in such a mind fuck.
Yeah, if it's like at that point too where you're not having the conversation until it's, yeah, maybe the person isn't as clear-minded, and also in that situation of a mother talking to her young daughters, like
Yeah,
it's probably a lot of things she doesn't want to have, still doesn't want to have those conversations and
yeah.
put that on
It's
you, even though
dangerous.
she knows that that's how it's going to end up being. It just
Plus,
yeah,
chemo brain is a real freaking thing, man.
yeah, I can't
It changes
imagine.
people.
That's
So yeah,
well.
we did that and it was really cool. And I feel really good about my choice to end my life there as because I consider myself to be an environmentalist, even though I'm like doing this real estate property management stuff. Ultimately, like I care my religion is the environment, nature, like
Mm-hmm,
I don't
mm-hmm.
know.
Well, I mean, we talk about it all the time, right? Balance of trying not to be too harsh on ourselves, or feeling too guilty about not doing everything, but doing what
Yes.
you can. And there's a give and a take. And some people are able to live these lives of kind of luxury of not worrying about consumption or what they're doing. They can live like really freely and whatever, but that's a very small percentage of people who are super like that carefree or free spirited or
Yeah.
whatnot, or don't have any responsibilities.
Or just it's a detachment because I
Mm-hmm,
mean we
mm-hmm,
all know global warming is occurring. We all know
mm-hmm,
plastic is bad for us. You know what I mean? Like it's
mm-hmm.
just a detachment and like ignorance and non caring.
Yeah. Um, with that 1 cubic yard you get, what happens after that? Does the family
Um,
decide, like what does the family take
yes,
that and go, put it in their yard or donate it to something? I mean, I never
yes,
actually thought about that
yeah.
part.
So if a family or they have there's nowhere for the compost to be put, they have space where they have a yard where they put the compost once it's all processed. Um, and but most people, I mean, you could also turn it into jewelry. You
Hmm.
could put it in an urn. Like there's so many options of what you can do, and they have all sorts of displays of like all the different kinds of jewelry that people have like made the soil into.
Oh wow.
Um,
That's kind of like how
and
people, maybe it's been around for a long time, but it's been more recently that I've heard of it, of making ashes into jewelry, whether it's
yeah,
putting it like somehow in a piece, or I don't know if they're actually like somehow putting it into stones, injecting it
Yeah,
or what, but different ways. So that's
yeah.
an
I mean,
awesome idea.
get creative, man. Like
Yeah.
it's your soil to do whatever you want with it.
Hmm.
And yeah, but if people don't have a place to put it all, then they have an extra lot where they can put the ON, and it's
Awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. You got to explore that. And because again, that whole podcast episode, and when I was in the point is to be talking about something that people might feel uncomfortable talking about, just
Yeah.
making it okay to talk about, I guess,
Yeah,
and
for
not
sure.
feel bad about it, especially if you're somebody who maybe does have the thoughts of wanting to have those conversations with people and you don't know how to have those, or if you are interested in these other methods but you feel awkward or like trying
Morbid
to, yeah,
talking about it.
exactly,
Yeah.
trying to find out about it. It's like, no, these exist, and there's places like the place you went that are open and welcoming for you to learn more about it and feel
Yeah.
comfortable with it instead of feel like it's, yeah, like I said, just morbid.
Yes.
Because
And
it's
in Washington, we are significantly more, oh God, I don't want to use the wrong word, but the only word that's coming to my mind is like advanced in these things, or like we're
mm-hmm,
very lucky to have these as an option. Like for
mm-hmm.
some states right now, people can't even have fucking abortions. We can still
Yeah.
have abortions, you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
live on the West Coast, we live in a very segregated from the rest of the United States. Like not a lot of these states have these options, and it's either cremation or burial. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming from a place of where we are geographically in the United States, but it's an option. Like you can get your, if you can afford it, you can ship your family over this way. Like there's people who have come up from Oregon, and it's just great to know that there are other options out there, because I feel like too often in any facet of life, like we're just given option A and option B, just like with our voting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get the worst of the two evils, and it's like fucking cool. How can we progress when there's no other options? We need more options because there's so many freaking people on this planet, like, yeah, but also with too many options, it's overwhelming. So,
Yeah, exactly. But it is interesting that how many of our choices are not really our own. It's
yeah,
one or the other, and they're
yes,
regulated by something, and
yes,
you don't think about it really. I mean, I hadn't ever thought of it as far as death. I mean, maybe I thought about like, yeah, maybe I would be rather be cremated so multiple people could have pieces of me if they want, or I
yeah,
could go be set free in the fucking ocean. Um, but I hadn't put too much thought into it or anything. But again, it was like it felt of one or two options, and it's like, oh yeah, like because that's just what you're given, and that's just what's kind of
yes.
regulated, and you don't even see
You don't
outside
let your
of that.
creative mind go elsewhere because you're just like this or that.
Yeah. And like I said, that's with so many of our choices we have to make because we are a, you know,
Yeah, like tampons or pads for the longest time, you know what I mean?
yep,
And now
yep,
we've
yep.
got like cups and
Discs and
IUD.
underwear and
Yeah, we
all the
have
things.
options.
Yeah,
And the
totally.
technology, that's also what it is like letting our like the tech we have the technology. We are advanced.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like just letting your creative brain go to all the places. Like so many things are an option. It's kind of like when people are like, which I'm not really good at bartering or bargaining with people, but like you can put a price on anything. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Money's fake. We made it up. You can put a price on anything
Yeah.
if you're motivated for whatever the thing may be.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a weird world we live in, which this is like a complete like fucking left turn, but by me saying a weird world brought up something today. I was asking for was gonna for work. I needed a certain picture. And
Oh, like a professional.
well, it was a picture of one of our ambassadors. I
Oh,
wanted
got
a
it.
picture of him skiing with his baby because he posts them all the time and he mentioned it in his bio. And And then and my boss just mentioned like make sure you check with him because it could be sensitive to parent shaming. And I totally 100% get it. I absolutely get where he's coming from. And I understand. I mean, with anything that you post of other people, like that's just common courtesy and sense of you ask them, unless
Yeah.
it's already been explicitly given to you because you have a contract or something. In which he didn't know that we had already had conversations, and he actually told me these photos existed, and so that he had them, and so whatever. But just the fact of like God, really like just that exists. Parent
Yeah.
shaming, like
Yeah.
just mind your own fucking business.
Mom guilt.
Yeah, it's not like child abuse, but people, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what parent shaming would be in some in a situation like that. That there would be people out in the world because it'd be posted on a public platform rather than, personal, private, like, well, I don't
Yeah.
know if their
And
social
of
media is
his
private.
kid.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's just again like the fact that that's something that people have to worry about is strangers telling them like what they're doing is wrong, which okay, on the other side of the coin, strangers tell people what's wrong all the time when people are, breaking laws and shit like that. But this is different. Like
Yes,
it's
totally
just
different.
like this is opinion. Like this is not right or
And
wrong.
like
It's your
skill level, like
opinion.
someone
Yep.
who can ski with their kid, maybe they like their skill level is like
Hmm.
most people I get don't ski with their kids on or however, whatever, but like how many people of the world like actually ski and do the things? Like you just have to know the like facet of whatever someone's doing.
That's
You know
the
what I
thing.
mean? Like
People who are commenting or shaming other people for doing things like this don't
do
do
the
the
things.
thing themselves. And this I
Yes.
believe we've talked about this before with pregnancy
Yeah.
and snowboarding or
Yep.
doing a sport while pregnant because we've seen more and more women athletes continuing to participate in their sport of choice at later terms in pregnancy than like ever before. I feel like it used to be like as soon as you started showing, people would stop their
Yeah.
sport. And for many reasons, and one of those reasons just being that there's no information, like they're just being told, like, you can't do this, you're pregnant, you're so fragile and whatnot. And now
Yeah.
more information is coming out that no, keep doing what you're doing for as long as you can, and like of course you back off intensity and things like that, but each person is still so individual. So a professional athlete who has a certain threshold
Yes.
of activity level, cardiovascular health, muscle strength, and all that can go further along like
Yeah.
than someone
With
who
the
it's
extra
not.
weight
Yeah, it's not just like okay if
and
you
more power to her.
yeah, it's not just like, okay, you're off the couch, haven't done anything, and now you're pregnant. Like, yeah, go start lifting weights. Like, no, 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 no. Go run a mile. But
Absolutely not.
when you're a elite athlete or athlete of any kind, you can, keep going for a long time. And it's very individual on how
Yes.
you
And
treat your
personal.
pregnancy, and same thing for afterwards
Yeah.
of what you're teaching your kid when and what you're doing with them. And again, from one picture, whether it's a pregnant woman fucking snowboarding when she's 9 months pregnant, like Olympic athlete, Jamie Anderson, who just had her kid, the and like 6-time CrossFit Games gold medalist Tia Claire Toomey is like busting at the seams and still just like, lifting crazy weights and doing burpees and like outdoing me on a workout on any day I could dream of. Like it's just amazing. And but people are
It
sitting there
is amazing.
commenting saying that's not safe. It's like not safe for who?
For
Because
who?
yeah,
Yeah.
and again, from a picture or a video, you can't see the whole story. You
Yeah.
don't know, like, was that one lap? Was that one rep? Like, you don't fucking know what the angle is. What you just don't
Yeah.
know anything.
Yeah.
So again,
Mind
it
your
just
business.
comes
Stay
to
in your
just
lane, Karen. You don't
scroll
even know how to
on.
do a burpee, Karen. Get out
Yeah.
of here.
And just keep fucking scrolling. That's what you're here for anyway, is to
Yeah,
scroll.
exactly.
So keep on
But it
going.
triggers people. That's the
It
thing is
does.
like it triggers people and like
But
what
again,
I think people should be asking is why is that triggering you?
mhm,
And how is that why does it even not like it's
mind your
what
own
does it
fucking
matter if this
business.
woman hurts herself or is it like why are we protecting unborn fetuses so much. Like I understand seeing women as like precious and beautiful and amazing when they're pregnant. Like I don't know how else to say it, but like pregnant women are just like the most precious of cargo. Like
Mm-hmm.
had my pregnant friend in the car the other day and I was just like, "Oh my God,
Yeah,
nobody hit us. I have precious cargo." You know what I mean?
totally.
Like that's just how we view pregnant women, but like what about the pregnant mom? Like she's got a brain in her head. She knows she like especially someone who's like a professional athlete, they know their body better than
Mm-hmm.
you and I, you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
they have
And
whole
but
teams looking out for their bodies.
yeah, exactly. Like these people have the resources to be doing everything and more
Yeah.
than regular people. And like you said, are most likely way more in tune with their body in general to recognize when something's going wrong. But you made a good point there of how it's really not the women that the
Yeah.
people are looking after. They're like the baby and
Hmm.
yeah, the baby, but like the mom too,
Yeah. She's a
like
whole human who's
yeah,
making these choices for herself and her unborn child.
yes, her own health and mental health, which it's all tied together. And again, you just don't know. So why?
Hmm.
I just don't understand the people's needs to make comments. And I mean, there's several things I see a day, especially if I do get into comments on a post that I just want to go
Yep.
at people. But
Yeah.
there are so many people who are just doing it for the reaction.
Yes.
They don't care this way
To
or that
gain
way. They just have
power.
nothing else to do all day than to sit there and do that, which is also what the scary thing is about being on social media or trying to put yourself out there, even this podcast space, a business space, anything like the just the negativity you're going to get back from people
Hmm.
who don't fucking matter,
Hmm.
and they get in people's minds so much. And this is why, like, a huge uptick of mental health and depression and stuff, like with kids being on social media more, and it affects adults
Yeah.
too. And adults who have big followings, there's been plenty of people who get these huge followings on social media and like go into dark places because they let the negative comments of people who don't matter get to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, how could it not? Like that's just like being, bullied at school, but now it's in front of millions
Exactly.
of people that you don't know. Of course, you're going to feel like a shitty human because one person
Hmm.
jumps on the train and all of a sudden it's just taken off.
And it's
Um,
so much easier to say it behind a screen.
Absolutely.
To say it in a to someone that you don't even know. Like you're viewing a picture, you're viewing a clip, you're viewing something that's curated, you're viewing social media, which isn't even real life.
Yeah.
Like the shit I post on the internet is so not my day to day.
Yeah.
It's
Or if it even if it's part of your day to day, it's just that it's part of
yes,
the day to day,
yeah,
day to day. It's
yeah.
like, I mean, I off the cusp, yes, on Friday or Monday, like
Your
posted,
Friday and
yeah,
Monday.
yeah, posted a story because I did a Peloton ride like at my lunchtime, and posted how it just like really helped because like I just had this anxiety and stressful thoughts. I just couldn't get off this roller coaster of all the things I need to do, and like trying to do my taxes. They were getting like fucking rejected, and I was freaking out as to why they
Oh,
were, and just so many fucking things. And I actually had a friend reach out like, are you okay, do you need to talk? But I hadn't posted a bunch of obscure things beforehand or anything, but I was just like, it gave me that thought for a second, like, oh man, like people see, some people don't think about anything that you post, and some people see it and look into it further, whether it's like good or bad. I mean, I appreciated her reaching out for sure, because like if I did, I'm like, that would have probably, like, if I needed to talk and needed somebody, then that probably would have been huge for me to have her reach out.
yeah,
But I just felt a little bit bad
right.
for a moment because I was like, oh no, I didn't mean, like, did I come off like way too serious and upset about that it's like, yeah, too much. But I was like, no, like I'm all good. This like really helped, just I just had to get out of my mind, and
Yeah,
this was able to take my mind off of things that was just spinning in circles, that it going down places it just didn't need to go, but not in a dark way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully not in a dark way. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes
it
those things
was.
creep up on you.
They can, yeah, they can, and this wasn't. But again, it's just also one of those of, man, I don't want to think too much sometimes about what I post because I'm just kind of posting in the moment of like, this is how I'm
Yeah.
feeling right now. Like you said, like that's part of my day today is feeling that way. Part of my day 5 minutes later is like laughing and being goofy or whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Having
it
to
just, this world of social media is so just fucking weird.
It
So
is.
fucking weird. Having to,
It's
again, think about
hard to
how
navigate.
people are going to react to things and worrying about how they're going to react to things is just fucking crazy, but
hmm
part of the
But then
game.
again, that's a them thing.
And like I said,
Easier
like,
said than done.
yep. And
Easier
it's when
said than
they
done.
react negatively and talk shit. I mean, like I said, the way my friend did, I was very appreciative of that when you do get the good people reaching out,
Yeah.
the people pushing you on, the people cheering you on and being there for you. That's an amazing aspect of it. But um
And
more
more often
often,
than not, the people who are taking things the wrong way have their own shit going on. That's
absolutely, absolutely.
it's not you. There's something else. There's something else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, it's just again, it's just a fucking weird world.
Yes,
It's
bitch.
fucking
I
weird.
feel you, man.
Yeah. But
Um,
anyway, we've just been, like I said, I think I said it at the beginning. I don't know. All I can think of in the last week and a half or so as we've been trying to connect to do an
yeah.
episode, I've just been going back to the saying of like, just in the ebb and the flow. We're just in
Yeah.
the ebb and the flow. The tide is just coming and going, and we're floating
hmm
in and fucking out
Yeah.
four
We could
times a
be more
fucking
exhausted
day.
if we were fighting it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's such as life, such as always life. It always ebbs and flows. I felt
hmm
like it was in a flow for a minute, and now
Yeah.
it's in like an ebb, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But we're riding it.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
riding the wave.
Riding
I
the wave,
oh, so it's
baby.
funny. I was
We're
thinking
body surfing.
on my lunch today, I had to go take a shower because it was the
Oh,
I
I thought
I
you were gonna
had.
say shh.
No, there's this video I'm gonna have to send you about about like pooping at your boyfriend's house and then you try to like hide it and like normalize girl poos. No, like there's a song, a chant. I gotta share it. Hillary sent it to me, but so run to Andrew's parents' house on my lunch to take a shower. And as I was showering, I was thinking all these thoughts of things I wanted to say on the podcast, and I'm thinking about the ebb and the flow at this time and the ocean, and I was like, I think the ocean is my spirit animal.
Yeah,
I was like
yeah.
that and my niece Delia. Like
Yay!
she definitely is. She's a wild woman. But
Uh-huh.
I was like the ocean, it's not an animal, but I was like,
It
yeah.
is
I mean,
alive. It's
like
fully alive.
in 1 minute, I can change to just a treacherous, like wild, angry thing. And then I
Yeah.
can also be glassy, flat, like clear and just welcoming.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm super fucking salty. Other
Yes,
times I'm
bitch.
like
Back me
not
up with
as
some
salty, but
salt.
always a little bit salty. It's like,
I
yeah.
love it. Yeah, that is your spirit animal. And there's like seven different parts of you. And
There is, yeah, yep, yep. Even more. Can't wait to make some kind of like graph on Canva about the
yeah.
ocean and my personalities.
And the like different salinities, the like estuaries and
I'm
yeah.
so bummed.
Maybe you're just the entire water cycle, the Earth's water cycle.
Maybe
Waterfalls, all of it. Fresh
I'm just
water.
water. Water. I am
Yeah.
water. Well, I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
Cancer, so that's a water sign.
Oh, perfect. You are my God.
Yeah, here's my crab
Circle.
claws.
Full circle.
Yeah, totally. Um, love it
Love it.
so much.
Wow, we're
Uh,
so smart.
yeah. So the other day, Jeopardy was on again when we were down at Andrew's parents' house, and I'm so upset that I missed it's backwards, right? The answer, and then
Yeah.
you ask the question, but no one knew it. Like no one clicked their buzzer, and the host is like, estuary. The answer question was, and I was like, damn it, I would have known that. What was the fucking like question? I was so upset that I missed that because I don't get a
Maybe it
lot of
was,
answers on
where
Jeopardy.
is the only environment that oysters can grow in? What is an estuary?
Oysters can only grow in estuaries?
Yep, it has to be like it has to be like a perfect mixture of like
I
salt
didn't know
and
that.
fresh water.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Um, I was gonna say that I bet it was, what is it called when freshwater and saltwater
Mix.
mix?
Yes.
um, but yeah, that's gonna bother me for a while of how
I wonder if you could Google a Jeopardy question by the answer. I'm
maybe.
sure you can.
I don't know if they repeat. I mean, I'm sure they've had to. Something has had to slip through the cracks and repeat, but the new host is the lady from Big Bang Theory, but before
Oh
that
my
she was
gosh, how old is
actually,
she?
well, she was also someone else, wasn't she? She had her own show, wasn't she?
Fuck, I don't even know who this
Oh
lady
my
is.
God. I don't know why I want to say Bethany. She had her own show and she was cool in that show. I feel like, I don't know.
Huh.
Fuck, I can't remember. But anyway, now we're just really fucking ranting and digressing. And it's almost 9:30 at night, way past our bedtime. I'm still going crazy. I gotta take my magnesium and start the generator. We
Uh-oh.
have 3% left on the goal zero.
That's living life on the edge, man.
On the edge. On the edge. We've let it die recently a couple
Oh my
times.
God. What
Yeah.
happened?
It just goes off the battery of the fifth wheel.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. Like, we've really only let it die if we've been gone. Because the heat can stay on still. Like the heat will run off the 12-volt battery in the fifth wheel. But it's just the other 12 volts. Like the plugins don't work and the well, the
Bridger?
tank heater, no, the refrigerator will still come on, and the tank heaters will. I think they just hold at a certain temperature. They don't like fluctuate or anything. But yeah, so that battery can last a while. Again, it just depends on how
Shit.
much the heat's coming on. But we'll run the generator tonight so that the goal zero is all charged tomorrow. Bring the solar panels back out, maybe. I don't know. There's fucking just snow in the forecast for, like, all throughout the next week. So I don't know how much or anything. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But whatever. Fucking whatever.
You're in a snow globe. Who
I
cares?
am
Yeah.
100%. That
Yes.
was actually in our email. Like, I wrote the Tahoe Mountain Sports email, and I think I quoted that exactly. Like, so it feels like we live in a snow globe, and
Yeah.
but spring break is next week, so come get
Yeah.
some bathing suits at Tahoe Mountain Sports,
Yeah,
Truckee,
baby.
California.
Magical March, right?
Shop online at TahoeMountainSports.com. Um,
Uh,
Miracle March.
Miracle March.
Oh, hi, kitty.
Oh, she's purring.
Tug was
Okay.
snuggling me. I was set up in the bed, and then Andrew looked like he was gonna like pass out. I was like, "Why don't you lay in the bed? I'm much more comfortable set up at the table." So they're all snuggling right now.
Nice. You better join him, girlfriend.
I know, but I'm fucking feeling crazy still. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. Pack for my day.
Yeah.
But all right, okay.
Go do some snow angels.
Yes, go do some fucking burpees in the snow to kill some of this 4 p.m.
Energy.
coffee energy. I
Ooh.
don't suggest doing it. Don't
Yeah.
do it for your own health. Anyways, so great to catch up.
Likewise.
This we made it by the skin of our teeth. One more episode for Women's History Month. Although we,
Yeah.
didn't have many guests on this month. We had one. We
Yeah.
had some high hopes, but shit happens.
Oh,
So we'll do better and plan better
yeah.
next time. But all is a work in progress. And either way, no matter whether it's March or not, we're just going to continue to have some badass women on here, and we're badass
Yes.
women ourselves. So there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is that you're listening to this. We are signing off. Sayonara.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and would do us a huge favor, since we don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and would rate and review us on whatever platform it is you use, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, whatever it is. And if you're listening and downloading just through the website, tearingituppodcast.com, leave comments. We'll definitely engage back with you. And on social media right now, we're just on Instagram. Tearing It Up Podcast is the handle. Like the post, share the post, comment on the post, whatever it is you got. Show us your love so we just stay relevant and show up in the rankings at all. So again, rate and review, please. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.